Hi, herbal students. This is your herbal remedies instructor, Irelia, and today we're going to be reviewing some of a topic that I really want you guys to reflect upon, and it's going to prepare you for something that we have planned coming up for our Seed to Shelf program. So today we're going to focus on colonial herbalism and ancestral herbalism. And the key thing here is that not all herbalism respects and honors the land. One is very extractive and it takes from the land, and the other creates connection to the land. So one profits and extracts the resources, and the other one communes and is in relationship. So let's start understanding the difference. So, what is colonial herbalism? So, colonial herbalism refers to the appropriation, commodification, and the Western medical terminology of the plant knowledge. So, it treats plants like substances, like products. It really focuses on the extraction and clinical outcomes. What can this plant do for us? And it really ignores and erases all the cultural, spiritual, and ecological context of the plant. So it really prioritizes profit over the reciprocity and the relationship. Often it removes all the original knowledge that the holders and has this deep conversation with relationship to the land. So in short, colonial herbalism just uproots the medicine from its cultural soil and then it sells it in bottles. It really wants to monetize over that plant ally. So, what is ancestral herbalism? So, ancestral herbalism is the practice of working with the plant medicine in ways that is rooted in the lineage. So, where is this plant ally native to, and who are its people? It really has a lot of respect for the plant as a living relative and all the knowledge that is passed down and grounded in generations. So, for example, for me and for my family, we have a strong relationship to the plant rue. In Spanish, it's called ruda. That is always grown in our gardens, in my grandmother's garden, in my parents' garden, in my garden, because we use it in different type of remedies, from ear aches to shock. And it has stories on the way that my grandmother used to make the remedies with ruda and chocolate to help me with what you call susto. Um, and it was often warmed up in a little cotton ball and placed in my ear whenever I had an earache. So that is honoring lineage. That plant is part of my people. It's part of my relatives. It has been used for a long time in my personal lineage and gardens and in others as well. Another plant relative that we have in my family is aloe vera, savila, and we use it for skin ailments. We also put it in smoothies whenever we have tummy troubles and we need some cooling of our digestive system. We put it in our hair, and it is something that has been in our family gardens for generations and generations. So that's what I mean by having a relationship with a plant. Ancestral herbalism, it has stories. I can tell you a story of the time that that plant was used within my family, current and in the past. So with that, there's stories, there's songs, there's ceremonies, and that knowledge is passed down through the relationship that you have with that plant. It really promotes ethical harvesting because it is a plant relative. We don't just take more than what we need. It's part of our household. It's part of what we care for. It also honors the way that it has memory. So these plants are plants that have been in the family for a long time and in the culture for a long time, but they usually have place. That means that they're able to grow, even if maybe they have migrated, immigrated from other lands. It became part of that family unit, of that lineage, and then is used on and on. So, in short, ancestral herbalism is ceremony, it's remembrance, it's reverence. And by reverence, I mean deep, deep honoring of that plant. And now, language of extraction. So, how will your little ears be able to tell when, someone is practicing colonial herbalism? So, they'll say things like, this is a body hack. This is the dose you need for cognitive improvement, productivity boost. It's always using words that center control, efficiency, and outcome, and not relationship, not deep respect. So, it's always, what can this plant do for me? How can I get something out of this plant? Instead, we got to reframe that sentence into, how can I work with this plant relative in a good way? So now, the language of reverence. So what do we hear when we know that someone is in relationship with plants and is practicing ancestral herbalism? They'll say words like plant ally, my plant relative. This is an offering. It's calling. It's a teacher. It's part of my family unit. So plants are not used, they're really collaborated with. They're not consumed, they are really communed with. And the relationship is the remedy. That's the magic. So to preserve lineage in herbalism, we have to think that right now there's a lot of trends. Modern herbal trends remove their plants from their cultural and ceremonial context, and they strip usually away their indigenous, their black, and other people of color, the herbalists, like what was the narrative that they had behind it. So this is botanical colonialism, and it continues to harm because of the extraction under the guise of wellness. This is wellness, but it's really taking away that indigeneity from it. So, how do we practice ancestral herbalism? So, we really have to learn the plant's cultural history before we're working with it. We ask permission. We are in prayer. We are in silence. We are conscious of the relationship that we are committing to. We usually make an offering before harvesting and using it. We make sure that we're using local, native, and lineage based herbs whenever possible. We really honor the spirit of the plant as much as the remedy that it will provide for our body. And we don't treat the plant as a commodity. We really know that it is sacred. So, there are two questions that I really need you to make sure that you type underneath and reflect and respond to. So, number one, how can I build a strong relationship with a plant ally? How am I going to do that? How are you going to do that? And how can I honor the people who carried this knowledge before me? So, this is when it really starts being important for you to reflect on your own ancestors, on your own lineage, on your own place on this planet. Even if you've migrated from another place on the planet, what plants are still with you? What plants are still part of your family unit? So, I hope this gives you a very beginning lesson on the difference between colonial herbalism and ancestral herbalism. And I want you to know that I got this information from an Instagram account, Sacred Relatives, and from my own teachers, Sam and Renee from Now and Then Herb School. So we always want to mention where we're getting our ideas, where we're getting our thoughts, honoring those Black, brown, voices, especially women's voices that give us these beautiful ideas. Okay. All right. Seed to shelf. I'll see you next week.